Hey, hold on real quick. Hold on. Pause. Earlier.
Me. That's so fucking lame sometimes, bro.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're telling a story.
That's true.
Like,
so
niggas
modern
just
day,
saying
you're
the
saying
same
is very, very first person.
Yeah. No. That's everything.
What about?
It's not even just.
But what about like Ice Cube? Today was a good day. The entire
But
song is about
he's
his
telling
day.
a story about his day. Once it's not just like I'm flipping the buffer. You know what I'm saying? It's not just
Frosted
like, you know,
Flakes,
I'm like flipping
all of my wrists.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody is saying that like
it's like you're literally in your like what these niggas are talking about is they're like literally in their bubble. Like Ice Cube literally he's like nigga from fucking him waking up to him going
it's
fucking
easier.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean it's easier because you just oh this rhymes with that, this is catchy. That's just a different question altogether about where hip hop was versus where it is now. Like now it's like you said, just like this is catchy. The beat is really what's selling, and it's in a catchy hook. Whereas in the past, it was telling a story, or you look at like the lyrical people like Tupac. That's why I give Kendrick credit now because he's one of the few people that actually still tell stories with albums.
Yeah, let me ask you something because I've been knowing you for 20 plus years. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been like best friends for like literally like 20 years, nigga. Like straight up, like to the like week type shit. Nigga, like, who do you think is... Because I have this argument with people all the time, like, because I'm into music and shit. Like, who do you think is more... Alright, first of all, nigga, Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac. I don't think that
Alright, so we agree on that.
Yeah,
we agree on that. But do you think that, like, who do you think is more
Tupac
lyrical?
Was just lyrical, those two?
Lyrical.
But
like bar,
Biggie was better at like being like just random and witty and like smooth, kind of like, wait, what? How did he rhyme those two things together? How does that even relate? But Pac was better at selling like a cohesive story with like poetry. It was more poetry versus somebody freestyling. And I know that's not saying that all Biggie's songs are freestyles, but they kind of played like freestyles. We're not really talking about a whole lot. And it's more modern day where you're talking about like, hey, look at me, I'm juicy, all that kind of stuff. Whereas Pac was telling stories.
I feel like, okay, well, how you say like that, it was like modern day. I kind of feel like, first of all, I feel like Pac shit was way more timeless.
It was more timeless, but it's
like it's some shit that like literally
it doesn't
like,
feel aged.
Like it doesn't age.
It doesn't feel
like,
aged. But what I'm saying is like Tupac or Biggie's is closer to what rap is today. Is what I mean when I say modern. I'm not saying that Tupac's is aged, but you said it yourself. You don't have very many lyrical rappers now telling stories. It's more so just like me, and it's catchy. And we enjoy it because we all party to it, and it's all you hear all day. And if you hear anything long enough, you kind of get used to hearing it, and you associate memories with hearing it. So then you just like that when really you're just liking the memory. But, I mean, I think we would probably both agree that older hip-hop are the ones that tell stories. When I say older, I feel like the older ones tell stories more often.
They were from the same era, so like...
Right, but what I'm saying is it just happens to be... This is maybe a timeless debate then of more so, do you like storytellers or do you just like...
Are you a fan of Jay-Z?
I love Jay-Z. I feel like he's always been overrated.
I've grown to love him, but I wasn't a Jay-Z. I was like, I don't fuck with Jay-Z. Until like 2000... Like really, like maybe like when I started getting older, like in my when I was like 25 type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like 5 years ago.
So I started really liking Jay-Z in the beginning of college. So this was like 07 and maybe.
But I've always like I know, like I have, you know what I'm saying, like a repertoire.
What bothered me, I've always
not like I didn't know him. You know what I'm saying? Like I fucking like Jiggle. Like my favorite song is Jiggle What Jiggle Who. Like I've loved that song for
really
20 years. Yeah, like you know, like but. I don't know, like it's not that appealing to me. Like it's never like really been like I've been like, oh shit, I gotta listen to some Jigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, and that's true because I don't have that often. I had like a month.
I
ago.
never have that feeling. Like
I had it a month ago where I was like, I kind of feel like listening to something, but then it's like 4 songs later, all right, I've had enough.
If I hear that shit, like I'll throw that shit like on a playlist or some shit.
If it's mixed in,
come on.
If it's mixed
you know
in,
what I'm
I
saying?
always bump it. Always.
And like a fucking, I think my first song or some shit came on today.
That's a good one.
And I was like, oh shit, I ran that shit back. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
You know, like
Me too.
I'm like,
I
oh
did that
shit,
too
like,
with that one.
Like,
because that was a soulful song.
And see, that's the thing, because like he's great. So, like, don't get me wrong when I'm saying this and shit, but like he just like when he was like, you know, like I guess like I don't know. I just had a thing with him saying, like, you know, when he was retiring, like the Black Album era.
I was just gonna
like,
say, so the Black Album was,
era,
you know what
like,
it was? That was the
just,
best marketing a rapper has ever done.
It was, but that's why I didn't respect it.
He convinced people he was the best rapper ever.
That's why I didn't respect it. Because I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
But people bought in. People bought in.
That's so lame. See, that's what's wrong with fucking society today.
Well,
people buy like that. I mean, that's perfect marketing. From a marketing perspective, that's fucking, you know, like, oh shit. Like, you know, you got something there. And as we see, you know what I'm saying, he's the Jay-Z he is today. But, like, for people to follow that shit, like, it's one thing to dupe people to do that shit, but for the people that's being duped, you know, which was a majority of people, I felt
he's
like.
smart. He's a businessman. I give him credit for being the best businessman, even more so than Diddy. I give him more credit than even Diddy.
That's just like so.
And I know Diddy might have more net worth or whatever all time, but Jay-Z's smart, man. He's
for the long one.
He's there. He's smart, but. To your point, I mean, I think it was I was just going to say that. I think it was the Black Album. It was like 03. That just kind of, best rapper alive, best rapper. He kept telling people that. And people are like, he's right. He's leaving us. Yeah. And then that also kind of synced up with Beyonce blowing up. I mean, she was out way before then, but like,
well, that's when she in
2000 Crazy in Love.
That's when her single came out.
That's when she blew up, you know, and
dangerously.
So I give them credit for that. They're very smart business people, and they marketed themselves masterfully. But Jay-Z, I feel like has always kind of. I guess I won't say he's overrated, but it was more so he convinced people he was the best. He's not the best. He's not the best.
But that makes him overrated. Because people really like put him in there.
Do people still say this?
People put, like, he's, whenever I talk to people, he's most of the time in their top threes. He's nowhere near he's not even in my top 10.
I don't think he's in my top 3, no.
He's not in my top 10.
I'd say he's probably top 10.
Not for me, bro.
I would put him in like a top 10.
And like I was listening to, you know, like if you throw on a Jay-Z playlist and like all the other artists that they'll play, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, he's had a long ass career. So that's another thing.
I guess if you want to look at it this way, I don't think he had the top 10. If we want to look at it if we want to look at this in a sports metaphor, I don't think he had a top 10 career, but I think he had some of the top 10 performances.
No, he's definitely had a top 10 career. That's bad.
Well, not career. Sorry. Let me rephrase. But that's what I'm saying from a sports standpoint. I don't think he's like a Brady. You know, I don't think he's like had a top 10 career. Like when you look at like decoration. But
with music,
with sports. I'm talking about sports.
I understand that. But are you saying like with the music or the business aspect?
Listen to the metaphor.
I know, I understand with sports, but I'm saying like, okay, is like the greatness? Wait. Is the greatness, say, like you're saying Brady? Is it like his athleticism, like him on the field, or is it him like in the?
You're talking a different story than I'm talking. Let me talk for a second. If you're looking at Jay-Z like he's an NFL player, he didn't have a top 10 career when you look at like Elway, Marino, Brady, Montana, Manning, but he might have had like 10 of the top. If you looked at like top 100 games, I feel like he had more individual games than any of those guys. Metaphorically speaking, what I'm saying is I feel like he's had better singles than a lot of people, but it's more like the individual parts I would rank above other people's individual parts. but I wouldn't put the entirety of his repertoire, so to say, in the top 10. Like he's like individual songs, individual performances, but when you're looking at like albums and his ability to tell a story, but again, see, this is how I kind of grade it. And then, rhymes, they're pretty nice. He's really good at a lot of things, but he's not the best at anything, I guess you would say. And he's not, for me, like a top 5 in any individual category. But he's so good overall that I think that, that kind of puts people up. People put him up high because he's well-rounded.
Where is he in your top? Do you say he's in your top 10?
He's in the top 10 probably, yeah.
Where is he?
I don't have like
get it. You don't have a list? I got my top 10 at least on my Twitter.
It changes like monthly for me probably.
See, man, how?
A lot of it's, but if you got guys like 4 through 7 are like neck and neck, and then you're just feeling one.
See, that's the thing. I don't have people that are like even that active in my top 10.
What's the question? Like,
no, I'm just
lyrical. Or are we talking like?
Hits?
Just
no. It's top 10 of all time. Like, it's just like you when say like with football, it's not when you're the top 10 of all time.
I know, but it's hard with music. It's hard with music though because you have to be in moods with music. You have to be,
This is.
It's hard to aggregate. I know it's hard to aggregate it. It is. Because if we're talking about, just entertaining, I put Migos to the top 10. If we're talking about talent, they're not in the top 25.
Top 10 at all.
I know, but it's hard to separate. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to separate. It's hard. Period. It's hard to separate. Like, are we saying, like, how would I rank this as, like, what America would deem the top 10? It all depends on the mood I'm going for. Music for me is very ambiguous. It's very fluid.
Yeah,
I can probably rank like a top 5, not even top 5, but like Pac, I still feel like, but see, it depends on the mood though. I don't know, it's hard to answer.
So like you're saying at any given point in time you could be like, oh shit, fucking Lil Yachty's better than Pac right now.
Not like that, not that drastic, but I'm saying like if I don't know, I can't.
But that's what I mean.
I can't rank 1 through 10. Put it that way. I can't rank 1 through 10 because I feel like certain people change within that, and I'm saying that's where the mood that kind of plays a part because I'm like, well, I've been listening to a lot of Tupac lately versus I've been listening to a lot of Kanye lately or something like that. Because I would put Kanye in the top 10, but like he's not one of the best rappers, but he's like one of the
that's what I want.
Top 10 artists, I would say, rap artists. The my top 10 who I listen to, he's in that. But I wouldn't say he's a top 10 rapper, just skill, Like I can't rank him 1 through 10. Like I can give you 1, I say it's Tupac. But like I don't know. I don't know the rest. I've never really sat down and thought about it because it's so broad and it's so contingent upon my mood that I haven't even like tried to.
Do you think
I don't have a favorite food? I don't have a favorite color. I don't have.
But you're so OCD.
A favorite movie. I don't have a favorite song. Well, I do have a favorite songs, which is interesting. I have top 3.
So you have,
but I don't have a number song. 1. I don't have a number 1.
See, that's
but I have 3 that are
like,
3 tied.
Weird, man.
I have like 3 that are tied.
Like,
but even that kind of changes because, like, how would you define? Let's say how you would define. How do you define favorite song?
How would I define my favorite
what it says? What's your favorite song? Why is that your favorite? What is your favorite song?
My favorite song.
You don't know. See,
you're right. I don't. But I like a shitload of music. But
you're proving my point here. I have 3 songs, but for me, they're all tied to memory. Because a lot of the time, the first time I hear a song, I'm very judgmental, and I'm like, I don't like it. And then next thing you know, I'm like, I fucking love this song. When I first heard Sicko Mode, I was like, everybody's gassing this song. It's cool, but like whatever. It's not all that. And then, after a month of hearing it all the time, I got addicted. I got hooked.
Well,
but that's just an example. I'm not saying it's like an all-timer, but that's an example of, like,
I would say, like, with that song, like, when I did listen to that entire album or whatever, I was like, that's the best song on there.
Damn, that was a good one.